What's so funny?
Oh, it's the Christmas play. You ought to hear what it says about Vera. The old bitch will have a heart attack.
Well, if it's that bad, it'll never get past Mrs. Davidson.
Probably already has. That Roz, she's got real brains. She sent in another version, one the Screws wouldn't get upset about.
It's a bit risky, isn't it?
Nah, she's right. She's too smart for him. Here, have a read of that.
But what if you don't get your parole, Pat? You can't be sure about it, can you?
Well, there's no reason why I shouldn't.
You don't know for certain, though, do you?
As good as.
Is that correct, officer? Will Pat be paroled by Christmas?
There's no guaranteeing it. I mean, even if she does get a parole, it could be weeks before she's released. These things do take time, you know.
There you are, love. I just can't go on the way I am. I have to consider my health.
Oh, but, Mum...
Unless you're out by next week, Pat, I'll have to put Emma and Andrew into a home.
Look, I've even been to see the governor. Now, if she can't hurry them along, who can, for crying out loud?
I know it isn't going to be easy, but you're just going to have to sweat it out.
And have my kids put in a home?
Well, what in the hell else are you going to do? You tell me. Besides, it's just until your mother gets back on her feet. You will have heard from the parole board by then.
There's still a chance Pat'll be turned down.
If you can't say something helpful, keep your mouth shut.
Oh, what'll I do, Bee?
They're not going to turn you down.
Well, I don't want my kids put in a home even for a day. I mean, if Andy ran away from Mum, how long do you think he's going to stay put in some lousy home?
Good on him.
Dry up, you. Here, get this into you.
Pipe down, you lot. Yeah, can't you worry about it in the morning?
We will worry about it when I say so.
I've got to get out before Mum has her operation.
Well, getting yourself in a knot is not going to do it.
Oh, fair go, B. Some of us are trying to sleep.
Then put a pillow over your head. Hard.
Love the sound of your own voice, don't you, Skip?
You know, you really ought to learn to knock before coming into a lady's room, Fletch.
Maybe you learned to keep quiet and solitary.
It was my fault, Mr. Fletcher.
You can't afford to go and report now, O'Connell. Get those things.
Hey, why?
You'll get them back when you learn not to abuse a privilege.
You're all heart. It must be the festive season.
Any more noise out of you three and you can forget about the concert.
Pig.
Wait until he finds out what we're doing to him in the concert.
I think I've been too soft on him. I've only portrayed him as Attila the Hun.
Thought you wanted to help Pat O'Connell.
I wouldn't have mentioned it if I thought you were going to turn it into a crusade.
What did you expect me to do? Just sit back and say, well, I'm terribly sorry, but that's her problem?
Look, I didn't think I was invited to dinner tonight to talk shop.
I'm just trying to explain about Alex Fraser.
Oh, he's a reporter, Karen. He's after a good story. He's not interested in picking up your banner against injustice.
Well, I don't care what his motives are. If he prints the story I gave him, public opinion will be on Pat's side, and that's the most important thing.
I'm going to my room.
Good night, Doreen.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
You two still are loggerheads?
Not as bad as it was. She figures if I could help Pat, I should have been able to help Rosalind.
Surely she can see the difference between helping someone escape and helping them get paroled.
I don't think she can. A friend's a friend as far as she's concerned. Want some port with your coffee?
No, thanks.
You shouldn't really have bought this here, you know? It's against the rules.
Oh, come off it, Karen. Just the two of you here, it doesn't matter.
And are you saying that we're allowed to break the rules whenever we feel like it?
Oh, now, don't twist my words. I didn't say you were breaking the rules by going to the press about Pat O'Connell. Just don't think it'll do any good, that's all.
The only way to beat the system is to join it and fight from the inside, right?
Yes.
Your way, not mine.
Just don't get your hopes up, Karen. If that article does appear in the paper, it'll probably be a little paragraph hidden on the back page.
Comment on Mrs. Davis's response.
No, I'm sorry,
to the
I
article
can't.
in the newspaper.
No, I'm not allowed to make any comments.
At Christmas time. Will she be available to talk later?
Have you any comment to
I
make?
can't say any more.
I was half expecting that sort of reception.
What about Mr. Fletcher?
You've seen this morning's paper, then?
Can't understand why Gregor gets so involved. I mean, if he wanted to make an issue out of it, he should go through you. I mean, it's just not like him.
Well, he'd better have a very good explanation. Tell him I want to see him immediately, would you, Meg?
Must be awful being in prison for Christmas.
One day's the same as the next.
At least they're getting some presents and cards.
It only means more work for us.
Morning, Miss Bennett. Wendy.
Morning, Mrs. Davidson. I suppose the reporters are still outside?
Yes, and I trust none of the staff has made any comment.
I would have thought that Dr. Miller had said it all.
I don't want the women to read those. Get rid of them.
Greg's getting a little involved with the halfway house for his own good, isn't he?
That's his business, Vera.
I suppose he wants to impress Karen Travers. Do you know Pat O'Connell has got one child in prison and they want to let her out so she can look after the other two? I mean, what hope have we got?
You have been here long enough to know that if there are any statements made to the press, then they come through this office.
I did not speak to the press, Mrs. Davidson.
Then how do you explain there are several references here to the Wentworth Detention Centre's doctor? There is information here that could only have been known to the staff.
I'm not exactly pleased by the article myself.
I can assure you the parole board takes a very dim view of public pressure through the press. Making an issue of O'Connell's parole can only do more harm than good. Did you by any chance speak to Karen Travers about the O'Connell family?
I thought an organization like the Halfway House could help, at least with the children.
I see. I've warned you before about being a go-between, Dr. Miller. I think it's about time you decided where your loyalties lie, with us or with the Halfway House.
I'm a doctor, Mrs. Davidson. I look after both institutions as well as trying to run my own practice. I have neither the time nor the inclination to get involved in power struggles, political or otherwise. My first and only loyalty is to my patients.
Then I suggest that in the future, you either do not entrust Karen Travers with any confidential information, or you avoid contact altogether with the Halfway House.
There is another alternative, Mrs. Davidson.
Yes?
To resign my post of Wentworth.
That is entirely up to you, Dr. Miller.
We used all the materials for the costumes, Bea. Now, how are we going to make the curtains?
And how long have you been folding sheets for, Lizzie?
Oh, yeah.
I'd say we need 4. We can pull the 2 middle ones back and use the ones at the side for costuming.
Uh-huh.
Here we are. Vera nearly caught me with it, but I managed to hide it in time.
Good on you, Chrissy. What do you think?
It's a real winner. Made as many copies as I could.
Good. Got a few more ideas to add yet.
Oh, we've only got 2 days. When are we going to practice?
Whenever we get a chance, you give us a look, see what we have to do.
Oh, how are we going to learn all this?
I'd say the laundry's going to grind to a halt for a couple of days.
What are we going to do for decorations? It won't seem like Christmas if we haven't
See
got
what you can scrounge, Lizzie.
I wish Dor was here. She can lay her hands on anything.
Oh, come off it, Lizzie. You could milk a cow on the run and it wouldn't even know. Hello, Miss Bennett. We were just talking about you.
Mail call will be at reception this morning in 1 minute. Now, what are you doing here, Latham?
Helping get ready for the concert.
You've got work to do. You'll all be lucky to find time to rehearse. And when you do, I'll be there watching.
Oh, good, wouldn't you know?
Why? Mrs. Davidson okayed the script?
Yeah, but it's amazing how it changes between approval and the actual day.
That's only because people like Lizzie can't remember their lines.
She better this time, Smith.
What, with you watching us all the time? How could we change anything, Miss Bennett?
Hunt, Leach, and O'Connell.
How are we going to rehearse? As soon as she sees what we're doing, she'll stop it.
Then we'll just have to make sure she's not around too often, won't we? Lizzie. Where'd Lizzie go?
Hunt.
Fantastic. It's from Bazza.
O'Connell. Your son doesn't seem to be very happy, but then he should have thought about that before getting himself put inside.
Why don't you...
Why don't I what, O'Connell? Leach.
Maybe you could tell me what's in my cards, Miss Bennett. Save me the trouble of reading them.
Are you trying to be funny, Leach?
No, Miss Bennett.
What are you doing here, Birdsworth?
I come from your mail.
I didn't read your name out.
Didn't you? Oh, but I must have some mail.
You haven't received a Christmas card since you've been in here, Birdsworth.
Oh, but Doreen won't forget me.
Well, she hasn't remembered you yet. So get to the laundry. The work bell will be going soon.
You going somewhere?
Yeah. I'm going over to my mother's place. I want to get Roz and Lizzie something for Christmas, seeing as they're the only friends I've got.
It's nice.
Well, do you reckon it'd be all right if I got stuff from there?
I don't see why not. It'll be yours anyway once the estate's cleared.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem right. I didn't know her that good.
Your mother wanted you to have it.
I know what I want to get Roz, but Lizzie's real tricky.
You'll think of something.
I could get her some booze.
Doreen, don't you dare... All right, let's think. What can we get for Lizzie? She always had a sweet tooth. Why don't you make her a Christmas cake?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. And you can get food into them now. Only how do you make it?
Well, your mother's sure to have some cookbooks.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Karen. Who are they?
Pat's family.
Gee, and they made the paper. Crikey, do you think that's going to get her out quicker?
I don't know. It's a good article.
Oh, that's just great. The whole family history plastered all over the paper.
Look, don't knock it. Makes your heart bleed, poor little mites.
Oh, that's just what I don't need. When people pointing at my kids in the street, their mothers are crim. And for heaven's sake, Emma thinks I'm in hospital.
Oh, she's only a baby, Pat. She's hardly likely to be reading the papers. She's too young to understand anyhow.
Do you really think it'll do some good?
Won't hurt. Look, it's a good story. Public will love it, especially at Christmas time. Probably a group of them out there now with placards saying, "Set Pat free."
Yeah.
It's the parole board that makes the decision, Smith, not the public. In fact, that sort of rubbish will probably have the opposite effect. So I wouldn't go thanking your friends at the halfway house just yet. Now, you do some work for a change.
Good, Lizzie, you all right?
Oh. Just a flutter.
You ought to see the doctor. You're faking, Birdsworth.
No, I've only got to get me breath, Miss Bennett. Don't worry the doc.
Can't you see she's sick?
Okay, come on, Lizzie.
No, I'll be okay in a minute.
I said come on.
Oh.
I think they've gone.
Okay, let's get stuck into those rehearsals.
Think Lizzie can keep Vera away long enough?
Lizzie? She can keep a pig away from mud.
It was only a flutter, Doc. I told Miss Bennett not to worry you, but she reckoned I should see you.
Well, I'll give you something to help, Lizzie, and you better rest up for a while.
Do you mean I'm real crook?
Well, it's best to be on the safe side.
Oh, I expect it's just the excitement. Christmas coming on and all that. I'd give a dozen bottles of scotch just to get out of here for one day. See all them lights and shops done up. I haven't had a real Christmas for 20 years. But you never forget. Each year gets worse in here. Yeah, I reckon it'd look real pretty out there now.
Come on, Birdsworth, I haven't got all day.
Instead of having a rest, Doc, do you reckon I could have a little bit of fresh air? In the garden. Just for a little while.
Oh, looks like you're having fun.
Yeah, well, I've been trying. This is what I got for Roz. It was my mum's favourite. Hope she likes it.
Oh, Doreen, don't you wasting it.
Smells good, though. Those blokes came round again today. The back's starting to look real good.
Not wasting any time.
Didn't turn out like the picture.
Oh. Well, it's not so much the way it looks. It's more the way it tastes.
Yeah, I reckon Lizzie'll think it's okay. I wonder if they're going to have a concert this year.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's funny. It's the first Christmas that I haven't been inside. Be strange with just the two of us.
Don't worry. We'll think of something to make it really nice. Something special.
tried going over that fence once before, Birdsworth, and you didn't get very far.
Yeah. I would have been well away by now if it hadn't been for me old ticker. Doesn't even feel like Christmas in here.
It's not meant to.
I'll bet you'll have a good time, though. Plenty of chicken and pudding and booze. You got a family, Miss Bennett?
No,
Not even a brother or a sister?
I was an only child.
Oh, I bet you were spoilt then. We used to spoil our kids, even when we was that skint. Always had a tree. Yeah, a real family time. But I reckon everyone's the same, eh, Miss Bennett?
I wouldn't know.
Didn't you have a tree?
My mother had asthma. She didn't like plants in the house.
Well, you could always get a plastic one.
Oh, the whole thing's a waste of time. It always gets out of hand. Everyone trying to outdo everyone else with presents.
Didn't you even like opening your presents, Miss Bennett?
Oh, I don't know, Lizzie, and I don't particularly care. Now, come on.
Oh, please, Miss Bennett. I still got me palpitations.
Then you should be lying down.
I can remember one present. I was 8 years old. It was a little pup. Oh, it was the ugliest looking little mongrel you ever saw, but oh, I loved that little fella. Did you ever have a dog, Miss Bennett?
My mother wouldn't let me have pets.
God. Was she mean or something?
No. Just old.
Well, I'm gonna have plenty of fun this Christmas. No one's too old for that. And I reckon that concert's gonna be real good if we get enough time to practice by ourselves.
I know exactly what you mean, Birdsworth. Come on.
Oh, please, Miss Bennett. Just a little while longer.
All right. But if you're out here longer than 5 minutes, I'll send someone to get you. Well, it's nice to know that some of us can take time off when it suits them.
I wasn't aware I had to let you know my every move, Vera.
They had Birdsworth set up this little stunt to keep me away from the laundry. When I go back there, I find they've been rehearsing that ridiculous concert instead of working. I can't be expected to keep my eye on everybody.
There are other officers.
Yes. And like you, they seem to think that Christmas means a holiday.
Oh, you never let up, do you?
You can't tell me that they're going to stick to that script they gave Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Vera, they're away from family and friends. Can't you let them enjoy themselves just for once?
Meg, is everything all right?
No, it's this letter. It's from Marty. Well, I was hoping that he's not coming home for Christmas. He's doing very well for himself. Seems I didn't do such a bad job after all. Just got to remember he's growing up. Sometimes it's hard letting go.
It's better than holding on to them.
I didn't really have much choice, did I?
Would you like a cup of tea?
Thanks.
I wish I'd had the nerve to leave home at his age. But Mother was so alone.
What about your father?
I didn't really have a chance to know him. I was about 6 or 7 when he walked out. According to Mother, he wasn't a very nice man. About the only time that she bothered to speak to me was to tell me how rotten he was. Or how rotten I was. Too plain, too clumsy, not bright enough. I always had this sort of feeling that I was to blame for him leaving us.
Reading between the lines, I'd say Davy's getting it pretty rough from some of the screws.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it? There are Veras in every prison.
Oh, Lizzie, you were supposed to keep Vera as busy as possible, not get sidetracked on some old lousy tree.
Yes, the concert's the most important thing. You know that.
Yes, well, we happen to like it. You're getting awful chummy with her, aren't you?
She's all right.
You're way above her sort, love.
Don't you think we should be rehearsing?
Okay, you lot, come on, let's go.
Now ham it up more, Phil.
Right.
Right, there, you're on.
What's going on in here? Clean up that mess. Get a move on.
Jeez, Miss Bennett, I need a rest. Been working for 24 hours.
If you're going to act like animals, you'll be treated like animals. Now move. Good King Wenceslas has looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Get it right. Brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel. When the... Oh, hello, Mrs. Davidson.
Don't let me interrupt. I just wanted to see how you're getting on.
No worries.
Good.
What are they doing here? Get them back to the laundry at once, O'Connell.
Oh, we won't hurt him, Mrs. Davidson. You can't have a good show without a curtain.
I don't see any harm in it, Miss Bennett.
I wouldn't bother, Birdsworth. I've already seen it. And it's very easy to know where it came from.
Well, in future, Lizzie, I think you'd better go through the proper channels. If you want anything else, you'd better come and see me, and I'll see what I can do.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. Everything seems to be going relatively well.
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson. Have you heard from the parole board yet?
I'm sorry. No. You'll just have to be patient.
I've had reporters on my back all day long, thanks to you.
Well, at least the other papers followed up the story.
Is that all you can think about?
Oh, Greg, I'm sorry. I didn't know they were going to print anything about you. What else can I say?
You can say that you leave me out of any more harebrained schemes you might have.
All right, I'll leave you out of any more harebrained schemes I might have. If that's what you want.
That is exactly what I want. I also wouldn't mind a glass of port.
Oh, Dr. Miller, could you take these out to Wentworth with you tomorrow? They're Christmas presents.
No, Doreen.
But if I tried to post them, they might not get there in time.
Now, listen to me, both of you. I refuse to be used by either of you ever again. If I want to get involved, then I do it my way. Is that clear?
Do you know anything about this, Doreen? Doreen?
Oh, yeah, those two blokes who were here today, they had it. A Christmas drink, you know.
They drank the whole bottle?
Oh, yeah. They thought it was real good.
Oh, nice to know someone enjoyed it.
Anderson, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, Miss Bennett.
Get away from here at once. Unless, of course, you're thinking of coming back.
Oh, I was just looking for Mrs. Davidson or Mrs. Jackson.
Well, you're too late. They'll be on duty by now, so you've just wasted your time.
Miss Bennett? Could you take these in with you?
I'll do no such thing. You can post them like everyone else.
Oh, but I got no money, Miss Bennett.
That's your problem.
One of them's for Lizzie. She's never had a Christmas present before, and she is getting on. She mightn't be around for the next one. Oh, I know you don't like me, Miss Bennett, but it's not for me or nothing. I just wanted to do something nice for Lizzie.
All right. But never let me catch you around here again, Anderson.
Gee, thanks. Miss Bennett, Merry Christmas.
Here's a list of people who'll be coming tomorrow under the visitors' service.
Yeah. Well, the women will only take advantage of it anyway.
What do you mean?
All they want's a sympathetic ear to tell everybody how bad the conditions are in here.
There are some women in here who haven't had a visitor from one year to the next. At least this service makes them feel that they haven't been forgotten. And I'm sure Mrs. Davidson would have screened them very thoroughly. Morning.
Morning, Meg.
You're late, Miss Bennett.
Yes. 5 minutes isn't exactly losing half a day, Mr. Fletcher.
Fine. Mrs. Davidson wants to see Pat O'Connell. Right.
leave those things with me, Miss Bennett. I'm sure there are other things that you can do.
I'm quite capable of checking this in myself.
What's the matter? It's been laced. It's sodden. Where'd you get it?
I'm not in the habit of smuggling alcohol into the prison.
Who's it for?
Birdsworth.
Then who gave it to you?
It was left at the gate. I was merely bringing it in.
There must be a note here somewhere.
Anybody who is thinking of smuggling alcohol into the prison, Mr. Fletcher, certainly wouldn't leave a calling card.
Run this prison as it should be run, like a concentration camp.
No, get it right, Lizzie. Try it again.
We'll run this prison as it should be run, like a concentration camp.
No, look, you've got to stop for a bit in the middle, like this. We'll run this prison like it should be run. 1, 2, 3. Like a concentration camp.
Quick, it's Bennett.
Oh, great, you got some perfume. Doreen sent it to me. It's Chez Rivienne.
Never heard of it.
It's French.
Means
I will return.
Just as long as Doreen doesn't know what it means.
Can't get the smell.
you can do that in your own time, Coulson.
Right, you've got 2 minutes, Pat.
Look! Oh, my God! You beaut!
I couldn't believe it. There you are. Must have been the papers, what did I tell you? No, Mrs. Davis said it wasn't that. Just good behaviour, she said.
Hey, Miss Bennett, is there any mail from me? I mean, from Dor?
No.
But I've been a mate of hers for longer than Roz. She wouldn't forget me, not Dor.
He's going to find a very happy house this year.
Oh, good luck
Take
to you.
it.
You deserve it.
And if you mention it to anyone, you could get Doreen into serious trouble.
Do for Christmas.
Ready, Pat?
Oh,
Take care, Bea.
yeah. Same to you.
Good luck. Look after yourself, Lizzie.
Good luck to you, too.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Hey, where's me cake? She said she made me a cake.
There was no cake, Birdsworth.
You've pinched it. The first present I've ever had, and you've taken it away from me.
I tell you, there was nothing with that card.
I'm going to see the governor.
Take my word for it, Birdsworth. You could be responsible for Doreen losing her parole.
Hello, love. How are you, Mum?
I couldn't be happier. We wanted to meet you.
Oh, don't be silly. Anyway, you're supposed to be staying off your feet.
Thank God you're home. I'm sorry the garden looks a bit run down, but I just haven't been able to get to it.
It's fine, Mum. It's the nicest I've ever seen. Believe you me. Emma. Emma, darling.
Emma and I did that.
Oh, it's wonderful, Andrew.
Granny has to go to hospital too.
Yes, I know Granny has to go to hospital, darling, but it's not the same one I was in.
I wish they'd let Dave come home for Christmas.
So do I, but it's not as simple as that, Andrew. Would you like to take Mummy's bag to my room?
Okay. I want to. You're too little. I am not. too.
You can help me unpack. I've got to try and see David, Mum.
Are you allowed?
Oh, I'll have to get permission from the governor. I'll take a letter into him today.
Can't it wait till tomorrow? The children have been so looking
I've got to, Mum. I don't think he's handling being inside very well at all.
I reckon old Bennett's lying. How could Dor get into trouble over a flaming Christmas cake?
Oh, I don't know, Lizzie. Anyway, it's not worth taking the risk for. We'll have to see Pat's face when she saw her kids.
Yeah. She's probably playing with them now.
Listen to them laugh.
And fight.
Talk about what they've been doing, what they're going to do.
Can't you do anything about him?
You really want this concert to be a success, don't you?
Yes.
Why? Just to get your own back on the screws?
Well, I must say it's all looking very nice. Congratulations. You all know about the visitors' service.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow we've organised a special day for Christmas. So if any of you wish to use the visitors' service, please leave your names with Mr. Fletcher.
Beauty.
Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to the concert. Good night.
Night, Mrs. Davidson. It's like being in a zoo. Visitors are let in to feed us poor little monkeys with the milk of human kindness.
You want Vera and Fletch to give you a bit of breathing space tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Well, I've just figured out how.
1 minute they're sending the whole thing up, next minute they all want a visitor.
They probably think it's funny when it's a waste of our time.
Not to mention standing about in the interview rooms all morning. My feet are aching just thinking about it.
We've got the concert this afternoon too, don't forget.
Oh, do we have to go?
Mrs. Davidson likes us to be there. Improves relations between officers and inmates.
Coming here for years. They really do appreciate it, you know, just someone to talk to.
Good morning. If I could have your names, please, one at a time, and then if you can stand over here for a check.
That means a search.
Yep.
Exciting, isn't it?
Greg. Yours first, please, sir.
Barnes. Henry Barnes, sir.
Greg, will you be going to the halfway house?
It's possible. Why?
Well, the next time you go, you can pass
ma'am.
on a message to
Who
Anderson.
involves her?
If she ever tries sending
Who
in
will I be
wine-soaked
seeing this
cakes
time?
again, I
You'll
won't
be in
think twice
interview
about
room,
reporting her.
3, Mrs. Bolson.
Right, now when she comes at you, I want you to get your arm around her neck.
Jeez, that's so hard!
You, Chrissy, the other way round.
Sorry.
Everyone else cheer like
Great. Who's next to the visitors? Here, keep them talking as long as you can. What bit are we up to?
Nearly the end.
Davy.
Hello, Mum.
No touching.
How come they let you in?
The governor said you'd been getting into trouble. He thought it might help.
I've been trying to keep my nose clean. When'd you get out?
Yesterday.
How's Andy and Emma?
Oh, they're wonderful. They miss you.
You know the rules, Mrs. O'Connell. You've been inside.
David?
Watch it, Sonny Jim.
I got your letter. How are you?
How do you reckon?
Please, David. You've got to keep out of trouble.
It's a bit hard when you're getting picked on all the time.
Well, can't the officers help?
You don't reckon I get all my bruises from the inmates, do you?
Watch your mouth, O'Connell.
I'm only telling what it's like in here, Mum. I can't take any more. I swear they're going to get me
I
one of
told
these
you to
days.
shut up.
If you can get your parole, then surely you can help me.
Okay, the visit's over.
Oh, let him go.
You raised a born liar.
Bastard!
Davy, no! Oh.
It's not like him, Mum. He's scared and trying to cover it up by acting tough. I mean, I know his mates have always been a bit wild, but, well, he's never really been violent.
I'd have gone straight to the governor and reported that animal.
And told him what? I mean, David went for him first. Anyway, it's killed any chance of me being allowed back to see him.
Well, they haven't put a stop to my visits. We're a family, and he's got to know we're sticking together.
Mummy, Auntie won't play with me. All she wants to do is play house. Do not do true.
Oh, look, can't you play with your little sister for 2 minutes? I'm trying to talk to your grandmother. Now, off you go. I'm sorry, darlings. I didn't mean to be cross. Listen, why don't we all go shopping and buy lots and lots of Christmas presents? We could make this place look a bit Christmassy too.
Oh, yeah.
Gentlemen, we hope you'll enjoy the show. I've only got one thing to say, and that is any resemblance to any person living or dead is purely coincidental. And now, on with the show.
What's going on here? Clean up that mess. Move!
Gee, Miss B, I need a rest. Been working 24 hours.
You act like animals. You'll be treated like animals. Now move.
I'm not so dumb.
If you let me go, I'll make sure you spend 5 years in here instead of 2.
6 years.
5.
4.
3.
2.
Done.
Martha! Leave that woman alone or I'll put you in charge.
I'll show you, Lich.
Oh, no! Not that!
I have to make a telephone call.
Oh, Mr. Letch, you need a bit of mouth to mouth.
Come on, girl. I'll see you to yourself.
You mean she never even got a bite?
No, and what do you expect? You know the rules better than anyone.
Yeah, but it's nearly Christmas. Oh, rotten Vera.
Rotten Vera could have reported you, but she didn't.
Yeah, she had a good reason, but nothing to do with me.
Doreen, I know you used to play tricks on the inside, but you don't have to get your fun putting one over on the screws anymore. There's lots of better things to do on the outside. It's about time you grew up, Doreen.
Well, I'm ready. I thought I'd buy a couple of... What's wrong?
Oh, nothing.
Where'd you get the present?
Linny.
Lynn Warner?
Yeah. She mustn't have got my letter because she sent it to the prison.
Oh.
I don't like to hurry you, but I think we'd better be going.
Right. I bought a little something for the kids.
Good night, Doreen.
Bye.
See you later.
Yeah.
We'll run this prison as it should be run.
1, 2.
Like a concentration camp.
We'll make some changes for the better. I'll be governor. You can stay on as deputy.
Hold it. A man should be governor. A woman's place is in the home.
Who are you calling a woman?
I should be governor. No more visitors.
More time in solitary. And I won't tell you that again.
Damn good idea, don't you think, Mrs. J?
Well, it is difficult living alone, Doctor.
Oh, Megsie. Megsie. Oh, Megsie.
Your phone call certainly took a long time.
What was your excuse for leaving?
I didn't need one. I noticed Erica didn't stay too long.
No, she had a call from the men's prison. Apparently, Pat O'Connell's son attacked a guard while Pat was visiting.
Why would they let her in there in the first place? She's on parole.
They checked with Mrs. Davidson first.
Oh, she'll never learn. I knew they were going to do something like that. But would anyone listen to me? How did they get at you, Meg?
Oh, it's not worth talking about.
But at least they won't have the satisfaction of seeing our reactions. We'll soon see who has the last laugh.
Give it to me. It's mine.
Let go, you rotten mongrel. I haven't eaten for a week.
Oh, please, Mrs. B. We got to have food, bread and water. It's not enough.
You think you've got problems?
Oh, but it's Christmas. What about our special dinner?
You've already got it.
Oh, well, what about our chook?
The officers ate it.
Okay, girls. Let's pack it in.
It's yours. Thank you. And that's for you.
we could open them now.
You have to wait until Christmas morning for that.
And no peeking before then either. Now, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, look. Star.
There.
I've arranged for you to go into hospital the day after tomorrow, Mrs. Devlin, if that's okay.
Now that Pat's home.
We'll never be able to thank you enough, Dr. Miller.
Oh, I'm just doing my job.
Oh, no. Without that story in the papers, well, it must have pushed the parole board into making a decision, at least.
That was Karen's doing, Pat, not mine.
Thank you, Karen.
Well, how about a cup of tea?
Fine, thanks.
I'll get it, Mum.
I'm not that far gone, I can't give you a hand.
Can we have some cake, Mum?
Come along and we'll see. Come on.
How about having dinner with me tonight?
Oh, I'll have to ring Doreen.
Oh, look, Karen. Doreen's not a child anymore. She's got to learn to stand on her own 2 feet. And she can't do that by leaning on you all the time.
Is that what you two are talking about?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, I'd love to. Oh, dear, I wish there was something I could do about getting David O'Connell released earlier.
You've done enough, Karen.
Nice kids, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory stream from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing alleluia, Christ the Savior is born, Christ the Savior is born.
Thanks, love. Well, here's to having you home. And may the new year bring us all back together again.
They had a good day, didn't they?
I don't think Andrew will run away from home again in a hurry.
Mum, I'm sorry I've put you through such a rough time.
It's all over and done with. I just thank God Andrew and Emma didn't have to go into a home.
Police, Mrs. O'Connell, we have a search warrant.
What's all this about? Can't you leave us in peace?
Your son's escaped from prison. We think he may be here.